Welcome to Get the Facts. This is the program that provides you with the information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm Theodore Henry. If you operate a medium-sized business with innovative products, services, and processes, then this program is just for you. For the next few minutes, we will tell you about the Development Bank of Jamaica, DBJ's Innovation Grant Fund, and how to access this financing to grow your business. It's one of the products being offered through the DBJ's Boosting Innovation, Growth, and Entrepreneurship Ecosystems, or the BigE project. And providing more information is Project Manager Chris Brown. Welcome again to the program, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's get the facts. Let's jump right in. So the Innovation Grant Fund, let's call it IGF. It started in 2021, according to my notes, with a maximum funding of $14 million. And in May 2020, there were several improvements made to the program. Now, for our viewers, I want to know what the program is about, first of all, and what are some of these improvements? Why we needed the upgrade?
All right, so let me start by saying the Innovation Grant Fund is targeting medium-sized firms, as you mentioned, who want to innovate. So they want to find either a new process to do something, which will make it more efficient, or they want to develop a new product or service. We understand that in order to get greater private sector growth, innovation needs to happen to drive that, right? So they have to do something out of the box. Think of bringing something new. So in order to, complete that effort, the DBJ's IGF, Innovation Grant Fund, allows them to get up to 20 million Jamaican dollars.
So not 14.
Right, 20 million Jamaican towards this project. We actually cover 70% of the cost, so they need to put up 30% as their counterpart, which can be in cash or kind. And again, the effort is really about creating new products that can add greater revenue to these businesses. All
right. So more money is always a good thing. But why the upgrade? What was changed? What was made better?
Right. So what we realized, and let's start with the money first, is that it was 14 million initially. The businesses who we are targeting basically indicated to us that the amount was not enough for them to do the types of projects that they wanted to. Right. So the innovations that they had in mind were much more grand than I think we were accommodating.
Big price tag.
So therefore, and the dollar has moved, right? So we've moved with the time. So we're now at 20 million. We had a requirement where you had to be 5 years old to be able to apply for the program. We've recently reduced that to 3 years. So again, younger companies that are established, they've met the revenue band. So for a medium-sized company, you would need to earn annual revenues between 75 million and 250 million, right? There are some firms that are doing that much younger now, and especially the ones who are innovative, right? We've reduced that to 3 years. So those are the two main adjustments to the program. We recognized in the past that the types of designs of the projects that we were getting were not up to the standard that we wanted. So we're now allowing these applicants to get access to service providers, consultants who will help them to write the projects. So in addition to giving the actual money to implement the program, we're giving grants, money, access to technical services to write the proposals.
Got you. So it's more of not just here's some cash. It's more of a roadmap involving some cash that medium-sized businesses can take a part of to grow.
That's correct.
All right. Now, you started talking about the criteria. Did you cover all of it?
Well, I think I covered some of them.
Talk to us about the rest of it.
So other criteria. So there's a minimum age, so you need to be at least 3 years. Your annual revenue needs to be between 75 million and 250. You need to have board of directors in place. Your project should have no adverse environmental impact. Sustainable development is a key facet of what the DBJ does. And really and truly, more importantly, your project needs to be innovative, right? And we assess those 5 things to determine eligibility first.
I see. Now, everybody wants a good success story. So what are some of the successes that we've seen under this program so far?
Right. So I will go with a company called One-on-One Educational Services. One-on-One is a technology company that operates in the education space.
Right.
They are currently implementing the program, but I think it's one that gives a good idea as to the types of innovation that we're looking for from our local companies, right?
All right.
So One-on-One created a solution which is called Classroom in a Box. So what it really is building on is they have created a technology that allows you to have internet on a box.
On a box.
Right. So it's like a modem, like a cable box, right?
Oh, okay. Okay. Right.
And that cable box has internet.
Got you.
It doesn't have to be connected directly to a line. It really does like a snapshot of the internet on this box. Now, the application that they're using it for is for education.
Right.
So during COVID, we experienced many people unable to go to school because they don't have internet access or get education because of the lack of internet access.
Right, right.
They could have that box at home, and the box would provide them with internet as well as content, educational content that the schools could upload for them to do their schooling.
So that certainly ticks the box of innovation.
Definitely.
That's for sure.
Definitely.
Meeting the need there. And, you know, we're talking about the criteria. And I know there are people who are watching who want to know, you've told me about 3 years. You've told me about the revenue. But we've also stressed medium size. What's a medium size business?
Right. So by Jamaica's definition, it's driven by revenue.
Yeah.
So it's between 75 million and 450 million is the official government of Jamaica's definition.
Okay.
This product, as we have it, is supporting firms between 75 and 250.
Right.
So a subset of the broader medium, but we're focusing on medium-sized firms.
Okay, we're getting the facts because I used to think it had something to do with number of employees.
Right. So, you know, there are two indicators. The primary one is revenue. The secondary one is employment.
Right.
But think about it. You could have 1 or 2 employees, but your revenue is that big.
Right,
right?
right.
And really and truly, how the government recognizes it is the primary thing is the revenue.
Revenue,
Right.
right, makes the difference. All right, so how can my medium-sized business access this grant? What do I have to do?
Right, so it's very simple. Think BigE.com is where the application form is. It's an online application. Once you go on, you register. We ask initially 6 or 7 questions, which is to check eligibility.
Right.
So all the things that I mentioned, we're trying to confirm if you meet the criteria.
All right. Now, we have to talk a bit more about eligibility. We have to talk a bit more about accessing the grant and the features of the program. But we're going to go to a break right now. We've been having a conversation about the DBJ's BigE program and the IGF portion of it. I know you're interested. I know you've gotten quite a bit of information. We're not done yet. So please stay with us.
The tinting of your windscreen, cut it out. Public passenger vehicles, according to the Transport Authority Act, not supposed to have tints. I'm appealing to motorists out there. We have removed many plates because of fandangles that are on the motor vehicle. Colorful lights, red light, purple light, blue light, and these multicolored lights. Get them off. I've noticed some trends out there where there is different type of license plates on motor vehicles. Only the Jamaican issued driver's license plates are to be on the motor vehicles. Once you transport any passenger in a motor vehicle, ensure that they are buckled, whether they are on the front or they are on the back. The seatbelt gives people a fighting chance to survive the crash. Many people have died who never give themselves a fighting chance.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We are continuing our conversation with Chris Brown, project manager for the BigE program at the DBJ. Sir Brown, we were talking about how do I get in, and you mentioned some of the first steps involving the website. But I want us to just pull back from the how do I get in question and talk about BigE, because we've been talking about the IGF. So tell me a little bit about BigE overall, and then we get back to the how do I get in.
Okay, all right. So the BigE program is really DBJ's solution to helping business grow. So businesses and entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So the program, has many aspects to it. In summary, we are providing money and advice to entrepreneurs or businesses so that they can grow.
And the IGF is a component of BigE.
That's correct. So I'll touch on IGF later on where it falls in the spectrum of what we're doing. Right?
Listening still, yeah.
So consider that you have an idea and you want to find out what to do with it. You're trying to work out the idea, formulate the idea in your mind.
Right.
We have programs that we either offer ourselves or through our partners that you can go to, or places that you can get that type of support for. So you would be moving from being an idea to a startup, right?
Right.
So some people have started their businesses, maybe a year, 2 years, still trying to find your feet. We have programs that can help you at that stage as well. Let's say you've been in business for some time, your sales been growing, you have some market traction, but you really want to boost it, right?
Yes.
BigE, right? Is boosting innovation, right?
Yeah.
We have programs that can help you. And when I say programs, I'm meaning it's either grant funding or coaching or mentorship or guidance or, just tools. Maybe you want to meet other entrepreneurs who have similar experiences for you to share. We'll be doing networking events. It's all about helping businesses and entrepreneurs move from one stage to the other.
So I want to come in here. The IGF, as you mentioned, had a certain criteria for eligibility. 3 years, 75 million to 250 million. And I could almost hear in the audience some people saying, it's not my business.
Right.
But you're saying BigE has a much wider reach than just this part, even though we're talking about IGF.
That's correct. That's correct.
So there's something that DBJ has for even the little one that's just starting.
Correct. So again, as I say, if you have an idea, there's a product for you. If you started a business already, just starting, there's a product for you. If you've been in business growing and you want to scale, you want it to grow faster, we have something for you. And then the IGF now comes in the group of businesses who are, let's say, more established, right? So they've been around, they have solid markets, solid customers,
right.
Which is probably why they're able to earn between 75 and 250 annually, right? And the IGF now comes in to help them to innovate, so to try and do their business a different way, or to introduce a new product to their existing business, or, as I said, or a process, a new way how to deliver an existing
which
product.
Will benefit from that 20 million sort of grant. This is pretty exciting news. We gave some good news to people who aren't quite there, in a different stage of the business, but focusing on the innovation grant fund. I know that many of our audience is very happy to hear that it's not just the money, but also the consultation. So I think we've covered the main objectives. Now just take us through the application. And if you can, differentiate between applying for BigE and applying for IGF.
All right, not a problem. So BigE, as I said, BigE has many different products in it, right? IGF is just one.
Right.
We have another product which is called Ignite, that is for your smaller companies.
Right, familiar with that one.
We have Go Digital vouchers that we get people access to. That's, so we have different programs that you can apply to, right? For IGF, which we just launched the application window on the 20th of May. So now people are able to go on to thinkbigie.com and apply. As I mentioned, there's the revenue eligibility. So we ask about 8 or 9 questions to determine whether you're eligible or not.
Do they need to submit any sort of documentation, or is it just the questions?
I think there are a couple documents you have to upload, like your registration, business registration to prove the age. We have We're checking on your management team, the competence of the team, so you have to submit the names and the roles and the resumes. So it's like 3 documents we ask for you to submit at that stage, right?
A pretty pain-free process.
Very simple process. After you've met eligibility, all the projects who are eligible are now required to submit a full project proposal. So initially, you gave us a brief idea of what your innovation is going to be, right? We're now getting into the details of what it is, what kind of impact it can have, what's the budget, right? How will you execute? Who is the team? So we're going to what we call a full proposal stage that you need to submit. There are many businesses that have ideas, but maybe they haven't had the time to formulate it, or it needs some work. They can also get access to consultants to help them to craft that proposal in the way that we're looking for, and for them to be able to benefit from the projects. So the first point we provide support is by helping them to flesh out the projects and to submit.
Well, this grant, I think we can call it very much a partnership between DBJ and these businesses.
Definitely.
All right, so we've gotten a lot of facts about IGF, the Innovation Grant Fund, and the larger BigE program. And right now, I want you to take a few minutes, few moments, not minutes. We don't have that much time, and speak directly to the audience. They're watching, they're assessing their companies, they're thinking about their plans. What would you say to them from the DBJ's perspective, BigE's perspective? What steps do you want them to take now?
Right. So I guess where I'll start is Jamaica is in a place where it's ripe for entrepreneurship, right? And DBJ wants businesses to consider how they can create impact, not just for the country, but even their own businesses, right? Jamaica will grow if the businesses in it grow. So we always want to encourage businesses to try and find new ways, new products, new services, so that they are able to grow and impact the country that we're in. So I'll really leave it as, please think about innovation. Stop considering the same type of business activity, because if you want to grow faster, you need to find new, innovative, productive ways to do that.
All right, that's a strong closing word there, and I'll just tack on to the end. Remember to visit the DBJ's website. All the information is there. The website is dbankjm.com. Let me run that again. It's dbankjm.com. Or, as our project manager mentioned, thinkbige.com for more information. This has been Get the Facts, and our guest has been Chris Brown, project manager for the BigE program at the DBJ. Now, we always want to thank you for watching, and until next time, I've been Theodore Henry. Take good care.